There are two aspects that seem to create the experience of the life. One aspect is what is constantly changing. And most often, for most, that is where the lion's share of the attention falls. And when that is the habit, there seems to be a continuity. But when the slowing down process happens, what is discovered is this flavor, this part, actually has no continuity. For instance, the body. The body seems like it has continuity. But if there is really watching, instead of being lost in the ever-changing story, what is discovered is there are sensations. And there are emotions. And there are thoughts. All of which are constantly changing. And there is an assumption that these thoughts and sensations and emotions define me. And then there are the ever-changing phenomenal events that are assumed to be other than me. What is seen, what is heard, and this too is ever changing. And the story about what is going on also ever changing. Yet there is a feeling of continuity. The habit falls on what is changing, and the story is that I am continuous. Yet the body is just an ever-changing flux of sensations, thoughts, and emotions. The outside world the same. Yet there is a continuity. But when there is the slowing down, what is discovered is the continuity is not perceptive. What is perceived is ever-changing. What is felt, not the sensory feeling of the skin, that is also perceptive, ever-changing phenomena. But what is felt to be everywhere, what is felt as non-local, what is felt at no distance, in no time, is the feeling of continuity. So on the one hand, there is the phenomenal display of perception that may seem to have continuity, but when there is the slowing down, there is the recognition there really is no continuity in it. It is just ever-changing phenomena. And what is constant is the feeling that is everywhere. When the phenomenal expression of what is ever-changing is directly felt into, when the habit of attention is not constantly darting from one stimulus to another, never having time to land anywhere. But when this habit is broken and it slows enough for the attention to fall directly into any form of phenomenal stimulation, such that the taste is that it is not separate from you, not at a distance from you, but that you are swimming inside of it. What is discovered is that the phenomena disappears and the taste is what is continuous. When this is done frequently enough, the whole flavor of the phenomenal life is tasted just like a dream, except being awake to the dream. And the thing about what is ever changing is that the drama that is created is actually changeless. The fundamentals only repeat themselves. It is like sitting by a moving river. There may initially be a feeling of continuity, but as you slow down, there is the witnessing that it is never the same water molecules. It is in constant motion. You are never sitting in front of the same water. Yet the panorama of the river is unchanging. It rains or snows and melts. The water runs down through what is called the river into the ocean. It dries and the heat intensifies. The humidity rises back into the sky, forming rain once again, forming the channels of water in the river, and the whole thing just cycles around. It is both ever-changing and completely unchanging. Like my life. when there is a stopping and a getting used to stopping, there is the recognition it is just like the river and the ocean and the rain. It is an endless cycle that does not really change. It is just the phenomena that makes it seem real, that is ever changing. And everything that is changing, when it is directly investigated, is discovered not to be there. And what remains is the continuity that has always been felt. This continuity is not going somewhere. It is not attaining something. It is already freedom itself. It does not have to be looked for. It is the feeling of continuity in which you are always in touch with. It is just that the habit of attention falls into the ever-changing phenomenal expression that only cycles around and ultimately changes nothing. It has but one power, and that is the power to distract the attention away from what is already free. And the stimulus it uses are these stories of conflict. But the nature of the conflict is always the same. And the game is, it will never be resolved, maybe temporarily. But if the conflicts were to be resolved, the ego would disappear. But it is built to survive, and its survival depends on attention. The simple releasing the habit of attention from what is discovered ultimately not to be doing anything. The doorway. And it's now. It is the unchanging now. It is the feeling of your being now. It is the continuity that always is everywhere now. It is what is at no distance from you. Not away from. Not in time. This mind's story revolves around when just this fixes itself, when just there is this self-improvement, when just there is the strengthening, the meeting of myself, of my issues, then I will be ready. But the I that will be ready is discovered to be the continuity. The sense of ready, the sense of need for something to change is the ever-changing phenomena that is discovered to really be changeless. Thus, the way it is constructed, it can never be ready because it is just phenomena that always disappears on direct investigation. Where does it all lead? It leads nowhere. Because nowhere is everywhere. It is where you have always truly lived. It is only the seduction of attention that has moved away. What is the opportunity? The opportunity is this moment. It's all there has ever been. What should I take away from this retreat? These concepts and sensations and emotions spinning story about what shall I take away are a myth of phenomenal events. And the feeling of the continuity is always there. It's so simple. How can I? Who is the question, not how. What grace to be given the eyes to see how the whole thing plays and works. Such sight is already half the battle. The rest lies in the grace of free will. So the floor is open.
It's just the clearest, most direct monologue I feel like I've ever heard.
Everything in the ever-changing play, like a dream, is a reflection. Something clearing within that has been so clouded in the past, and now there is clearing. And the byproduct is there is the receiving and the reflection of phenomena, the experience of clarity. It is all just changing phenomena, but it is reflective. While all the changing sensations and perceptions that are occurring right now, what is aware of it? That is the continuity. That is what really has the name life.
Getting swept away so much.
That is in the ever-changing phenomena. Sometimes in that ever-changing phenomena, the experience is I am the ocean. And sometimes it is that I am the river which is rushing out of control. But it doesn't go anywhere or change anything. The thoughts that are saying me and mine, just part of the ever-changing phenomena. What is aware of them? The continuity. I get so swept away. It is part of the cycle. The cycle is endless. It doesn't go anywhere, but its nature is repetitive because there is no one in it that can change anything. It has one power, and that is the power of distraction. And the antidote is now. It's so direct. There is no future and now, there is no past and now. It is never possible to find a future or a past, just like it is never possible to find a character, Leif. It is just swirling phenomena that does the same thing. The story is, if it would only turn this way, and that is the seduction of the nature of every ego. But it has nothing to do with that. The sense of determination that arises in the mind, it is also just phenomena. It is the continuity. It does not require conviction or effort. It is where you've always lived. What seems so important, no matter what the story, it is ultimately discovered not only to be meaningless, but to be completely unreal. The story is I do something right and then I do something wrong. But what is really true is you see the illusion or you see the truth. The seeing happens in the moment. When that happens, the reflection changes. The story is I did something right, but it's not a doing, it's a seeing. And then the reflection changes with a story of I that is more and more and more deeply seen to have never existed. Not only will the character never be ready, the external circumstances will never be quite right. But it's all phenomena. What does it have to do with the continuity of who you are? You know, I've experienced this play with you in times of great opening, when you feel like you are the ocean. But this time, in the midst of the hell from the perspective of the mind which has swallowed so deeply, it is the first time where I am really feeling the potential. This is the most important of times in the dream. Something feels the potential of raising out of the illusion in the midst of the experience of being lost. And all of it is nothing. But this is the phase that has caused entrapment. but it is nothing.
I just want to stay with you.
Yes. Stay with me now. You know, the recognition of the phenomenal nature of perception is the recognition of yourself, which is the recognition of myself, which does not exist in a particular place. The discovery is there is not someone there enlightened. The discovery is it's all phenomena. Looks to be changing, looks to be speaking, looks to be listening. But it's all just cycling. And what is alive is continuous. And it's not someone, it's everything. So words coming out like I want to stay with you, they make no sense because nothing makes sense in the phenomenal play when it is seen. Freedom is this moment. It is completely free. It is not mysterious. It's the continuity, the feeling of continuity that is always here. It's not to look for it, you cannot get away from it. It's to stop looking. That is the habit of phenomena. That is the ever-changing facade of someone. You know, the recognition in this, when this appearance of this phenomenal body, which is reflectively reflecting you, bows in prostration. The realization is the bowing in prostration is non-localized. It's not bowing to someone or something.
It's bowing to clarity.
Yes, it is bowing to truth, to pure freedom, to pure love, which is the only thing that is always or ever really there.